Update 7 should be the next big update after 6 point what have you for the smaller ones, and today I want to talk about the things that I want to see in this update and what I think won't be coming. Let's start right now. So first of all, content, bug fixes, and then quality of life. Content, I definitely want a new master level, yes. See, master levels are the core of that in-game play, aside from Horde mode, which I will touch on here in a second. And so to have those reimagine the same levels that we've been playing, but different, is great. Now, there are some different things with master levels, like the early game, like Hell on Earth, Exultia, that don't have official drops just yet, and to be able to see those levels in an entirely new light would be awesome since they're so geared toward the beginning. Now there's so much stuff that I like to see, like a Tag 1 master level for sure, a Tag 2 one again, because a more master level would be great. There's lots of options here. So much so that I'll be making a few more master level videos dedicated just to them, because there's so much to say. I do think that new Horde mode maps would be cool, but I think that's been ruled out. You know, I just joke about Terrace Nabad being every single map, but it would be cool to try some of these arenas and remix them in ways that we never had before, like that Stone Imp Holt encounter with the Orange Ring area. It's just a lot of cool things that they did with Horde and changed up the arenas and battles in different ways, and I would really like to see more of that, although, like I said, it has been ruled out. And if you like this video, consider leaving a tip in the jar. It goes a long way to helping support the channel and the videos. I'll put a link in the description and pinned comment below. Thanks. Speaking of different arenas, what about the Battlemode arenas? I know that that's a super popular thing in the modding community, well, at least to me, to be able to reuse these Battlemode arenas for the single player experience. Now sometimes you can block off different areas so the player doesn't have like so much room to move around and to make a more tight confined space. But I mean, if you think about it, if these arenas are designed for PvP, they'd definitely be awesome for PvE, consider they're based around player versus player combat. It would just open up a lot of new things, and I think it would introduce a whole new crowd to battle mode that never played before. They'd see these maps, and they would at least have an appreciation for what goes into it and some of the strategies and movement that's involved. Speaking of each of those, updates to Horde and Battle Mode would be really cool. Now, I haven't really played Battle Mode much since I was on the Bethesda Friday Night Fights event, but I will say that with the 2.0 release, it has been gaining some traction and some life in it, which is cool. You know, proud and glad for those Battle Mode players. The Horde Mode people have seen some different information and updates that we've gotten about possibly, if it passes QA, having additional waves modified or adjusted each season with Horde, which is a 5-week season, to really kind of spice up that gameplay. You know, we master the Horde mode now, but this will give us a chance to really dive in and try new things and really keep it a fresh, replayable experience for those that are into it. The leaderboard scrubs are another thing that I'd really like to see, because if you look at the PC leaderboards, it's really rough right now as far as even attaining the top 200, but they have said that the leaderboards will be scrubbed after Season 1, which is really nice. There is a BFG tech that is also used to where you shoot the BFG, but you pick up another cell and you still get the bonus. Hugo said that's okay for Season 1, but it'll be out in Season 2, which is just a good bug fix to have. It makes it feel more intentional as to how the game was supposed to be played. Let's talk about some bug fixes. So this is a general one here. It happens a lot of different times, nowhere in specific. It is the blood punch collision complaints that I've seen the community raise, the questions that they have when you are doing a glory kill. What happens is you go in for the glory kill and you actually do a blood punch unintentionally. Now I think this reason that this exists is because a while back we had issues with blood punch in general, even targeting and hitting properly, and there was a lot of work that the team did. I remember Hugo saying it was their strike force just going in, targeting. It was actually, I think, over some of the holiday season or something, and they really just dove in hard to fix that blood punch issue. And hey, honestly, the way we have it now, I would take it way over the way that it was before, because it is still scores better. And I have to say that making those improvements was great, but of course, why not just keep going and going as we're able to, as time dictates, if there's the staffing for it, and work on it a little bit more. If not, hey, that's cool, but just things that we'd like to maybe see. So the BFG delay fire. Now normally the BFG shoots instantly when you press it, but it seems like that after a checkpoint load, when you press the BFG to fire, it's got this weird delay to it. It takes a handful of seconds before it fires off, which is rough for a few reasons. Number one, well, you could weapon switch, which I've never tried if it'll let you do that. I've just waited it out and let it fire, as that was what was intended. And it just really makes it difficult because when you plan and fire a BFG shot, your intention is to clear that arena out and make it completely gone for the most part. And if any split-second change happens, that can be the difference between life and death. And if you have that delay, it screws up your plan, gives the enemies a chance to come after you, and it may not necessarily be an Ultra Nightmare issue due to the checkpoints, but still, that's a lot of people that it could affect, and it would really be good to have fixed. Next up is the Arc Complex Master Level music. Yes, it's pretty much been since launch that the music has been broken. You'll go through the arenas and the hallways, and it'll just be the ambient dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, that kind of music right there, if the horrible impression, by the way. And it just plays in the arenas. Now, this really gives the level a different feel when you have the ambient instead of the heavy. The only thing they fear is you, which I should probably not do an impression of, but I'm going to do anyway, the da-da-da-da-da-da, that part. Anyway, so when you don't have that there, it just hurts the feel of the game, and it's actually persistent through, most of all of the level anyways. Now, thankfully, this is something that it is aware of. Hopefully, they can find a fix in the modded master levels that the community has made, like Elizabethany. You can find that the fix is there. Somehow she went in the files and fixed the music. I've messed with those a little bit so I can see how she did it, but it is fixable. It is something that can be done. Id Software is aware. And I know it's not like a gameplay change, and it may not be the highest priority on the list, but it has been there for a while, and I really think the players, even though Arc Complex isn't really like the most popular master level, it would just be a nice fix to have, at least before Eternal stops getting updates, whenever that might be in 2024 or 5. Or 6 or 7, I hope, honestly. Anyways, about that. The next thing I want to talk about is quality of life and game. What does that mean? Well, quality of life just makes things nicer. And, well, game improvements are game improvements. I'd like to see a classic mode Ultra Nightmare option. Completely optional, it will not affect your 10 rewards otherwise, you'd still be able to get them. Heck, maybe not even give it an award at all, even though you really probably should, because there are players that like to do that. They'll do the Nightmare on the classic mode and do it deathless, because that's the closest thing that we have to Ultra Nightmare, but it's just not quite the same. I mean, even though if you die, your plan and your run has failed, you don't actually go back to the start of the map, which has that just in the back of your mind. If you've ever played Ultra Nightmare, you'll know. Having that feeling of, if I die, I reset this whole game or level, really messes with you. Classic mode's the ultimate challenge. Why not put the ultimate Ultra Nightmare challenge on top of it? I think it'd be pretty cool. The next thing I want to talk about is the Master Level Slayer Gates. I actually made a brief video touching on this, but let me explain a little more what I mean by that in case you missed it, or if you want to check it out as well. So this would be an optional level Slayer Gate inside the arena, and someone told me, and two people told me in the comments, don't call it a Master Gate because of reasons, so we'll call it a Expert Gate. How's that sound? So if that was your comment, I fixed it for you. This is an optional encounter inside the master level with the Slayer Gate area, and it's just an extreme on top of the everything crazy type of battle, which is optional. You maybe could get a skin, maybe not, but really it's just something for those players that really want to dive in hard. Some people have said, hey, Allstin, why? Master levels are already master levels. Or, that's going to really bug the people that are going for 100% who may not be ready to take that challenge on. Well, 100% is supposed to be one of the hardest challenges in a game, and it is completely optional, so you can do everything but that. I just think that the Expert Gates will be a good addition to the game, and I'd love to see them and really take the gloves off. Let id Software say, okay, we're going to make a master level which is already going hard. Why don't we give an optional encounter so we can really show players how insane things could be, and really just not even have to consider this being a required part of the level. Sure, people say it would be like Tyrant spam for the base game levels, but I'm confident it could throw together a very interesting combat puzzle with hazards and different enemy types that go well together. I just think that the Master Expert Gates will be a really cool addition with the next update, although I don't foresee that happening. I've heard word too of unupgraded weapon mods in Mars Core and World Spear that in the classic mode, until you get both of the mods or until you switch back to them or something, that they're just not mastered. So a little bit more clarification on that would be cool, but there is an issue going on, as well as the World Spear Ballista mods are bugged, but that is known and that will be fixed, so hopefully in the 6 point whatever updates before 7, or if 7's next, that's cool too. But just something to make sure everything gets kind of like tightened up and polished up a little bit on these master level experiences. And of course, sending a support ticket from the main menu would be really nice, because people have come to me and asked like, Allstin, how do I fix this? And oftentimes the answer is you need to send in a support ticket to Bethesda. So I thought about making a video and showing you how to do that, which would be a pretty cool idea. But even just for now to have it in the main menu, which could have some downsides, because then people may spam tickets, and if they don't see an answer, they'll go back and do it again. But maybe there could be a limit, maybe there could be something else. If nothing else, instructions or a link to the site would be even better to do it that way, if not from the game itself. I want to know what you think. Comment below and let me know, and then check out the next video on the screen here. I'm Allstin. Thanks for watching.